Now normally I like vampire films. I like David Bowie. I like him as a singer. I like him when he did his acting roles. But this one is fucking boring. I fell asleep halfway through this one. That being, as I've been talking about vampire films, The Hunger. If I can pronounce the fucking word right, so it's fucking me up. The Hunger. From 1983, The Hunger. I don't know how I'm going to add this as one of my vampire films. Because, in all fairness, I don't fucking trust this heap of shit as a fucking vampire film. Don't trust it as a vampire film. As for a David Bowie film, I don't even trust it as a fucking David Bowie film. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tell you all the scenes David Bowie's in. And start from the film. Nightclub scene. David Bowie and his bird, his girlfriend, meet a couple. They're obviously a bit kinky. Now I do know in real life David Bowie in his heyday was kinky. I know he was bisexual, and it's not for me to judge the man's sexuality. But if you look at the biography of David Bowie, he was like that in real life. He did like his sex parties. But that's him in his heyday. Okay? So in this, it reminded me of David Bowie in his heyday. You know, he's touching up a girl, she's touching up a boyfriend, you know, it's a bit pornographic. But like I always say, if I want to see something like that, I'll just watch fucking porn and have a bit of fun. They killed the couple, the tomato, some animals have a thing with tomatoes' bodies, it's interesting. And they're a bit rich and upper class. And in order for them to stay long, they've got to kill people and suck out, somehow take out the blood. The only fucking hunger I got from this fucking film, apart from falling a fucking feet out boredom, was I fancied a fucking Donna de Bab. Anything to release the fucking boredom. That's probably why I'm getting a bit of a belly. That's the only fucking hunger I got. Again, talking about the scenes of David Bowie. Nightclub scene I just mentioned. The scene, as it goes on, he turns into an old fart. Then he tries to kill someone, cuts him because he's an old fart, can't kill him. Kills a poor kid. I mean, that's a bit ballsy and a bit nasty. But he kills a kid, turns into an old fart, gets buried alive. End of David Bowie scene later on in the film where he kills his bird. I've just named every David Bowie scene in the film. And it's the same, it's a missed opportunity for David Bowie. He wore good makeup and it was good to see him as an old fart. As we all know, David Bowie was in his 50s when he passed away. May he rest in peace. But it's the same, because it's a waste of the man's science. I would have thought that David Bowie was going to be like a Dracula role, or like the film I mentioned weeks ago, Fright Night. That's a good film. I'd love to see David Bowie in a role like that. In this, it's not a fucking vampire film. You got a woman getting every day, promise them the youth, like we all get scared of getting older. Who doesn't? You know what I mean? I'm in my early 30s. I'd hate to see the day of me getting old. You know what I mean? I notice I'm using my hair at an early age and I'm getting grey hair. And I'm getting a bit of a beard belly, which I'm trying to get into a six-pack so I can get my muscles again. See? Getting them already. We don't like to get old. Who the fuck doesn't? We all want to be young and look pretty forever. And it's not just vanity, it's being honest. But the idea is she gets men and she wants them to be young and look good looking. But they don't, they're all done into old farts. What I think is ironic that she still looks young, she still looks attractive. That all the men are with boy toys turned into old fucking foldies. Now you get Susan Sarandon, another good actress. And she's in a racist role in this. I like Susan Sarandon. That an attractive woman. And for her age now, she still is that attractive woman. She's still got a nice pair of personality. And she's still an attractive woman. She plays a scientist and she meets up with this woman. Now the only good thing about the film is you get a nice bit of classical music. See, I'm not a deaf or common. I do like a bit of classical music from time to time. There's a classical side of me. And all in all, there's a bit of a lesbian scene. We all remember the scene in The Hunger. Susan Sarandon gets her tits out, She gets her tits out, they're naked, and they're doing a bit of lesbian. It's like nice to see Susan Sarandon showing her tits. I mean, she's got a nice pair and all. And it's like nice to see a bit of lesbian scene. But again, if I want to see lesbians bang at it, I'll just watch fucking porn and have a bit of fucking fun. So again, it's like a nice scene, but it doesn't really save the film. If I just wanted to see that scene, I'll just fast forward to that scene. I think that was the only bit what was entertaining. I think that's the only bit what took me a fucking rake. We're seeing Susan Sarandon doing a bit of lesser. I didn't buy her being a lesbian, but there you go. So she swung that way, even though she had a man. Nice, enjoyable for a couple of minutes. I had a bit of fun. And after that, it was like, is that it? Thanks for keeping me a fucking rate. Gone down again now. But the rest of the film is just boring. It's not eventful. Doesn't feel like a fucking vampire film. There's nothing in it. They're attacking in the morning. There's no toss. There's no stakes. There's none of this. Why the fuck did people say The Hunger is a fucking vampire film? It's boring. It's generic. The music is boring. It's a fucking snooze fest. I fell asleep halfway through it. I was only happy that 2 days after they made Fight Night and it brought back the way vampires should have been. Yeah, sometimes I do like the change. The Lost Boys is different. I already said it a few weeks ago. Near Dawn is different. But this is boring different. Doesn't feel like a vampire film. It sucks. It sucks dick. It's fucking boring. It's a fucking snooze fest from 1983. I think David Bowie did another film called Thingy Christmas, the same there. I can't remember it, I've never seen it, but I do believe he won an award for that, and rightly so, because he's a good actor as well as a singer. Who knows, I might even review The Man That Fell From Earth in 1976. That's a better film with David Bowie. And if you want to see another good film, Labyrinth. Yeah, it's more of a kiddie film and it's like an adventure, but it's good to see the old 2 practical effects and puppets and David Bowie having a sing-song. This is barely in it. Oh yeah, it comes out at the end, gets the woman. Susan Sarandon has been changed into one of those things. I don't even tell her it's been a fucking vampire. She gets tagged in, the evil woman. End of fucking film. That's it really. What else can I say? The rest of the film's generic. It's boring. There's not a lot I can say about it. Because I can't barely remember it. Because it's fucking boring. If you like vampire films, and you like David Bowie, just watch some of his other work. Whether it be The Man That Fell From Earth, or fucking Labyrinth. Or even the Christmassy one, what he did, based on the olden times of World War. In China, I think. But this one... You want to like David Bowie, fair enough, but don't say I didn't warn you, it's a bit boring. If you like vampire films, it's even sucks in that. But it's up to you, but I wouldn't recommend it. Not unless you want to fall asleep and wonder what the fucking hell's happened to your youth. You see, I used to be 30. Since I've watched this, I'm 70 something now. That's how much it's fucking bored me to sleep. Other than that, I'm just going to go out and get my retirement money. See you later. What the fuck happened to my life after watching this? Fucking hell. We've just got to press the stop button. Oh. See you later.